Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Stay Tuned Reviews. Unfortunately, I was unable to post any new material last week, but over the next several days, I plan to make it up by posting a number of new videos. Today's video will focus on the Amazon TV series, Them. For those of you who haven't seen or heard of the TV show Them, here's a synopsis. The show centers on the Emory family. The Emorys are an African-American family who migrated from North Carolina to California in search of a better quality of life and because Henry Emory accepted a new job in the area. The setting of the story takes place in 1953, and later on in the series, we as the audience learn the real motivation behind the family moving across the United States, as well as the emotional baggage that they carry. Now, the very first impression that I got after watching the show was that it was the poor man's Lovecraft Country. And hear me out on this. Lovecraft Country is a period piece with the story taking place in the 1950s. Lovecraft also has some of the same tonal themes centered around black oppression. In the show Them, the overall theme was the practice of encouraging blacks to move into a predominantly white neighborhood, the reckless approval of housing loans that black clients would likely not be able to afford, and reclaiming the property if black clients were pushed out of the neighborhood by their white neighbors or the home is foreclosed. In Lovecraft Country, the series focuses on events in black history, such as the sundown towns, inequality in employment, Emmett Till's death, and of course, police brutality, to name a few. What Lovecraft far surpasses Them on is how they were able to incorporate supernatural elements into the story. With Lovecraft Country, every episode had a fresh and unique supernatural element that aided in the storytelling of blacks in the 1950s Chicago. Them was more of a slow burner, and the evil spirits were essentially one note. We as the audience are left in the dark to what is the endgame for the Emory family until the next to the last episode of the season, which would have been ideal if the previous 8 episodes were presented in a better manner. Now let me tell you what I liked about Them. The acting performances for the Emory family characters were highly exceptional, to say the least. Heading into the series, the only actor that I recognized was Shahadi Jones, who played in Jordan Peele's Up. But Deborah Ayorinde as Lucky Emory and Ashley Thomas as Henry Emory both give award-winning performances as their respective characters. Melanie Hurd as Gracie Emory also gave a spectacular performance as the youngest child. I can envision her getting a ton of work in the future. Alison portrayed the main antagonist, Betty, from the neighborhood. She was well played for her villain role, but I wasn't a fan of how her storyline branched off from the main story. My biggest gripe for the series Them is the delivery and its overall storytelling. The storytelling in the series is non-linear, meaning that the narrative is somewhat disjointed, having an excess of flashback scenes and episodes that sometimes disrupt the natural flow of the project. The trauma porn in the show also gets heavy-handed at times, and there's no comedy or creative use of supernatural elements to help balance it out. And the ending for this series was a bit of a cliffhanger, and it left me asking a ton of questions regarding the character's fate. Overall, I appreciated what the series Them attempted to show. However, for me, certain parts of the show, particularly episodes 5, 7, and 9, make me want to take a break from black struggle projects for a little bit. And in my opinion, just having a show that told the story of how blacks were attacked and harassed for moving into white neighborhoods during a time when people could lynch a black person and get away with it is horror enough. The series could have definitely survived and flourished without any supernatural elements. But my recommendation for this series is you might want to watch it once and judge for yourself. And that is my review.